All right, we are live. Let's get it.
What's up, everybody?
Think I'm gonna do something new. We'll do it next week, maybe. I have some shit. I have some flags. I have a lot of crap in my house, so I'll send somebody something. Taking suggestions for a trip. Where should I go on a vacation?
Oh, you're planning a vacation? I didn't know that.
We were gonna go to like the mall, and then like instead of buying each other crap, we were gonna go to like Liberty. We were gonna go to like one of the old school travel agencies and just see if they had any like doorbuster deals. Like we don't really care where we go. Kind of flexible too on time. Like anytime this winter or spring. We usually do like one vacation a year. We have nothing in mind, so we don't.
I'm
really
jealous.
care.
That sounds awesome.
Any deals out there?
Yeah, you could do that thing people do where they just go to the airport like the time that they want to go, and they just say, "Hey, what do you have flights to right now?" And just wing it. You could do that, man. This is the time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like we were like Florida's usually cheap, but everything just got so crazy. So it's just like almost better to just like buy a package and then just whack it down in payments or something.
Cruises are always good for that. Just
cruise, yeah, maybe cruise.
You can't really go wrong on a cruise. Only thing is the rooms are small. You got to ball out and get a good room.
Yeah, ball out. So if someone picks something good, I'll send you like some Eagle stuff or something. But
oh, you're doing a giveaway? What's the giveaway? I didn't know that.
I don't know. I just said I'm gonna do, instead of a poll question, I'll just say whoever's the best comment wins.
Best vacation place to send Phil and his wife. That's the contest.
So if I pick it, if it's anything good, and I end up picking it when we book something, I'll send you stuff. I got a whole room full of Kazara.
Man, there was some. Speaking of comments, some amazing comments on some of the late posts.
Britney Griner and Harry Roseman.
Ooh. Yeah, what a day for America, man. I don't know. People are not happy. Seems like
people are not happy. It's the worst trade deal of all trade deals, but they didn't have Harry.
Yeah, that
Roseman.
was our take. Was of course Philly sports related. If Howie Roseman was in on it, then they had to turn in some draft picks or something.
I got this cup last week. Lit. So Britney Griner, that's the big news. I've officially stopped paying attention to Flyers and Sixers. I have no idea what their record is. I'm gonna pay attention. I think by the weekend of around my birthday, they play Ben Simmons in Brooklyn. That's when I'll get back on those bandwagons.
Yeah.
And if I get Flyers, and if I get lucky, and our dad gets us Flyers tickets, those are the only two reasons why I would ever talk about them. I'll never talk about them again.
The only thing I've seen regarding the Sixers is just how terrible Doc Rivers has been coming off with, like, he's back to that, like, it's a scheduled loss like rap when they lose,
smug,
which is really pathetic.
And by the way, we're a little delayed. So when we went live up to the Eagles game, it was really lit, and Doom basically was right in telling me, like, hey, when people comment crap, it's good to engage with them and go back and forth a little bit. So we're a little bit delayed. So if you do write us on here, I'll see it like a minute or two. So stay on.
And I don't see it, so it's up to Phil. When I run the lives, I see the comments. But when I'm a guest on
I have it on another tab,
remote, so I don't get to see the comments. So if you comment to me, I don't get to see it. So Phil, if anything's related to anything to me, tell me.
So that's that. So I didn't get to see before we get to Nothing But Eagles, I didn't see all of Trea Turner's press conference, but it was hilarious. The first two questions, they didn't even give him like a layup. The first two questions, they were like, the first one was, you were offered more money elsewhere. Why did you pick Philly? And the second question was, what spot in the lineup are you hitting? Everybody wants him to lead off instead of Schwarber. So They just came right at him, guns blazing. Eskin was like, "I know you're going to give me a good answer," and he just like started really sticking it to him.
Yeah, I just didn't see a second of it. I was stuck at work. I had a rare late night for me, which like me being at work till 5 p.m. is late because I get there very early. So I had a late home, so I missed all that. I did catch Dombrowski on with Ike, um, and that was really cool. But I did not get to hear Trey.
He's a good-looking dude. He's basically his numbers are pretty much identical to Bryce Harper's, and he plays the most
You led
important
with
position,
good-looking dude,
especially
just
now.
so you're aware.
Good-looking dude. He
Okay,
is.
just making sure.
That the caption on the Phillies post was like, "He's here and he's everything." Something really good. But he has the same numbers as Harper, and he plays the most important position. And they're gonna have there's no shift next year. So
Yeah, which begs the question:
really
what are they going to do with Rhys Hoskins with no shift and with the bases shrinking, whatever inch, which is going to make plays at first base be extra important? Do we? And this was like my Zach Ertz thing. Like while the stock is still ever so high, do you cash in on Rhys Hoskins? I say firm
problem
yes.
with him is
yes.
If they can get like 2 relievers for him, I'm all about it. But you're not going to get too much because he's in the last year.
Get something. They're hemorrhaging dollars.
He's in the
They've got
last
now
year.
600,000 committed to 2 players. 600 million, I mean, Bryce and Trey. They each have $300 million contracts. We're like the Yankees.
Yeah, Rhys is 16 million, and then after this year, he's done. So he's in the last year of his deal. So most teams would want to wait unless they want him now, if it was a contender or something.
Right.
But for DH, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe he'll DH and Derek Hall will play first while Harper's not.
Look at us talking all-season fills while the Birds are 11-1.
That's about it.
That's
though.
it.
That's about it. I don't pay attention to the Flyers and Sixers.
I got nothing on the Flyers.
Phillies are like the hottest show in town now. They're spending money, man. They're committed.
It's going to be a hell of a summer, man. It's going to be back to like the bank being ridiculously fun. Every game you go to is going to be just a blast. I can't wait for some summer baseball.
We got the rights to it at my real job. We almost lost it. We were in a contract year, and we got it.
Smart move by your brass.
They bidded it out, and then nobody wanted to pony up and pay for the rights to play the games, which is not that much. Basically, brings in 10 times the revenue it costs us to play the games on our station. Yeah. So I could have paid for the rights. Put it that way. But yeah, Eagles Titans was lit. It was probably the craziest blowout game. I don't think I've ever really been to a game like that. It was that one-sided. I didn't expect it at all.
I had no idea. Their line kept moving around. It went down to 4 points. I'm like, what is this game going to be? Is Derrick Henry going to run all over us? And the Eagles did every single thing we said for them to do. I was very impressed. Finally, like a very impressive win, when you can hang your hat on.
They stopped the run, which they have totally different personnel than that Washington game. That Washington game, they turned the ball over 4 times. So if anybody thought there was a blueprint like running the ball against us and keeping us off the field, they totally just completely changed the way they played defense and completely changed the way they played offense. Yeah. Just getting ahead on those teams and throwing like crazy after the week before they ran the ball like crazy. But the GM was fired, which was hilarious. And we didn't get to see Malik Willis because we got to leave early.
Yeah, we did. We did. In full disclosure, we did the beat the traffic move. I kind of looked at Phil like, "We got this, bro. Let's roll."
It's funny because a buddy of mine opened up a hobby shop. It's called Holographic Hobbies in Summers Point, New Jersey, and a friend of mine, we wanted to support him, and a friend of mine bought like a huge booster box of football cards that was guaranteed like one like autographed crazy like card in the box, and that's what he got, Malik Willis, which I like. It's an awesome. He's gonna send it to get graded, and they fired their GM. They'll probably get rid of Tannehill, and they'll the Malik Willis is a long hold, so we'll see if he turns in. E-Rock brought that fan to our section, so that was a really big post.
Yeah,
that guy sat in a thing, which I wish I would have known that he was sitting right
I've been
behind
texting with him all week, and it was funny. I sent him our post. I'm like, dude, this post is like 30,000 views. He's like, oh my God, like it's doing better on your stuff than my stuff. I'm like, yeah, Facebook hates us sometimes, and other times just wants to give us crazy reach. But he's on vacation. He's in the Dominican Republic, E-Rock. So shout out to E-Rock in the Dominican Republic, chilling. Hey,
so
that'll be my suggestion for you, by the way. DR.
So he brought his mom, I think, met this kid at the airport, and he goes around. He has one leg, and he goes around to schools and talks about anti-bullying. And he's a huge Eagles fan, never been to a game. So E-Rock partnered with Don Smolensky, and they got him an on-field pass. E-Rock gave him tickets in our section in 115, and he got to go in the tunnel and all kinds of cool stuff. That was awesome.
But, speaking of our tickets, we're selling the last game of the season. It looks like
the Giants. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's not going to count." It's for a Giants fan you know and love, it is 1,000% going to count. And for us, which we'll get into with scheduling and resting people, for us, there's still a gigantic chance it counts. One, number two, you only have 50 guys on your roster, so you can't rest everybody. We're so deep that you're going to have lots of star and sex appeal in that game, and
you're going to see
you could spoil the Giants, and the Giants are going to need it.
N'Kobe Dean's going to get like 30 snaps. He's going to be the N'Kobe Dean show
if we even rest, and we'll get into that. But I looked at next year what divisions we're playing, but it's looking like Boston. We follow this crazy Philly bar, and I wrote them. I'm like, yeah, we're coming up. And they're already like, oh, we already have the, groups. So Philly Sports Trips is already going there. E-Rock's already going to go there. They have a bus too.
Yeah, I'm down for a low cost we can drive to it place.
Boston.
Our last two road trips have been like ball out ones. I'm down for like a grimy Boston trip. But Boston's not cheap, but we don't have to travel. The crazy flights and all that.
There's not really anything crazy to go. Because I think we play the AFC East. There's not a whole lot of West Coast stuff. Maybe like LA and San Fran. I think.
Well, if Miami ends up on the list, that's a fortune. Nothing.
Miami's going to be in Philly because the last time we played Miami, it was away.
Right.
The Doug Peterson game.
Right. So then it won't be Buffalo then because we played Buffalo away last time.
Yeah, Buffalo, Miami will be here. So Leggy's coming here. I don't know why we're talking about next year, but we're going to get – but Boston and the Jets will be on the road. So those are the trippies. But speaking of Boston, Tom Brady gifted us a top 5 pick. Which is
wow.
And they're saying he might go back to New England now because the Bucs are, like, dreadful.
How bad is –
now he's divorced. He's going to keep playing.
How bad are the Broncos? I mean, Broncos country, let's ride. I can't believe that they're in the third.
Rams and Broncos pick are ahead of our Saints pick. So if they're underachieving so bad, if they win, they play tonight actually. Huge game
for us.
And them. If the Rams win, I'm playing against a ton of Raiders players in playoffs, Devontae Adams and all kinds of guys, Josh Jacobs. The Rams win. Rams are underachieving. They're ahead of us in the draft, and the Broncos. So Rams got to win. Broncos got to win. Let's ride. And then Detroit plays Minnesota, which you want to say you want Minnesota to lose so we lock up that 1 seed. But Detroit now is threatening to get the final wild card spot. And they're scary.
They're favorited in that game, Phil. Did you?
Yeah,
it's like
scary.
1.5 points. Yeah, they were scrappy. They were remember we played them the first game of the year. It was a scrappy game. We eked it out.
And everyone was beating me up about wanting to lose to Dallas. WIP took my take. I posted that yesterday. That was a segment on WIP today.
Oh, yeah.
They were afraid to play there's a single-digit percentage chance you beat the same team 3 times in a row in one season. Just single-digit percentage chance. So,
I mean,
so, yeah, you got to play Detroit again, maybe. who we already played, and then maybe Dallas, who we played a bazillion.
The Eagles split against the NFC East regular season anyway. So you won one, lost one to Washington. You won one. See what happens the next one, Dallas.
I just hope it doesn't count. I hope we win. I hope Dallas loses a game.
I'd rather lose to the Giants twice.
I hope Minnesota loses a game, Dallas loses a game, and then we're way ahead.
Yeah, we can relax a little bit. Speaking of vacations, I'm on vacation wildcard weekend, so if we do end up not getting the number 1 seed, one of your buddies is going to have the time of their life in my seat.
Oh my gosh! But basically, we're playing an identical team this week as the Titans. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're have no wide receivers. How do they not have a quality second running back to Barkley? He's running out of gas. They've overworked him.
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent.
Those running backs fall off of trees these days. We had 2 guys who were Heisman and an all-time rushing leader in college on our practice squad, like Trey Sermon and Kennedy Brooks. How do you not have a backup to Barkley?
I think that's their philosophy. Let's just run our key players into the ground. Their cornerback returns kicks. What's his name? Their big draft pick.
Guess they're still rebuilding. But how do they not have? There's guys out there that are just out there to grab.
I was at Tripp's wrestling practice last night, and one of the dads there is a huge Giants fan, and I'm like, "Hey, how do you feel about the game?" He's like, "Petrified. Eagles are going to kill us." And I'm like, "What's going on with the Giants?" And he was telling me that they have this. It's one of their top draft picks. He's a cornerback, and he returns kicks. They're going to get this guy killed. I hope that's true. I'm saying that off of what he said, but that's what he told me.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're trending the wrong way. Somebody called it a market correction. They were on pace to win 13 games, and they're just, even though our schedule's favorable, they're not a 13-win team, regardless. So. But if we lose, we're really screwed. If we win, we're in good shape. This is probably the most. Every game, the next game is the most important game. But
I think a lot of what goes on around us this weekend will determine the importance of this game. I think if the Vikings lose, you feel better if you lose. I think if the Vikings lose and we win, you're feeling real good. I want to distance myself from the Vikings. I think the Vikings are way overperforming record-wise. More overperforming more than the Eagles are, for sure.
It's gonna be important. It's gonna be fun. There's a lot of people going up. If you're going up, give us a holla.
Christmas Eve has an unbelievable slate of games too. That's a game it's a full day of games.
They moved all the games to Saturday.
But there's also games on actual Christmas, too. But the Saturday games, every single one has a playoff implication for the Eagles. You got to love the NFL. They schedule it. It's almost like it's meant to be.
Yeah, the Sunday games are trash. You have the Packers
they're real
and stuff,
bad.
Teams that are just straight out of it.
They're real bad. But the Vikings have a...
It's cool to just have it on in the background,
yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Vikings have a key matchup that day. The Eagles obviously play Dallas. That's going to be a football-y Christmas Eve. All the family men out there, get your house in order.
Did you catch Mikey Miss on WIP?
I caught a bit of it, but like a complete nerd, I actually listened to Angela on Mikey Miss's podcast at the gym last week, and they were just retreading a lot of that content. So I kind of turned it off.
Yeah, they did his whole origin.
They did
story.
that on his podcast. I think they made a deal. He's like, I'll come on your podcast, you come on mine.
Yeah, he had to wait for a non-compete to end. He had a 3 or 4 month, which is for him to only have a 3-month non-compete. Now he can go wherever he wants. Is a ridiculous contract. I'm not even a personality in sales. I have 2 or 3 years. I can't even work in the market.
That's crazy. Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have been more strict. Maybe that's just good negotiation by him. Because they were harsh on him. But I haven't watched a second of that new show. I don't know what they're doing on that, whatever the best show ever or whatever. I don't watch that.
Yeah, they're terrible. I wrote him though because he's opened up a winery in Cape May. So I said, we're from Ocean City. to be honest, his show, like from time to time, I'd listen. That the only thing outside of WIP I'd listen to was like sometimes I'd watch this stuff because it was on TV. So I wrote him. I was like, listen, I freaking hated where you worked, but I listen to you, and we're from the same. He loves Ocean City, loves Vol Tacos, and I was like, dude, we'll come, go live or whatever. I was like, just hit me up. I just emailed him about, so we'll see.
That's awesome. Speaking of places people work and things people love or hate, we go into meme of the week because I got about 10 more minutes before I got to jump. My choice for meme of the week was the Geno's cheesesteak debate. Did you up to date on all that? Did you audit those comments?
I saw that, and I love them to death, and I like Geno's, and Foodie Hall actually in my regular job bought advertising off of me, and I think this post got more reach than the actual advertising.
That's actually hilarious because I did not know that. In full disclosure, the only thing we know, we were not paid by Foodie Hall, we are not paid by Geno's, we're not paid by anybody. We run our own show. We sell a couple T-shirts. That's about it. Our friend of our dad's that he worked with is an investor in Foodie Hall. And I just saw like, oh, wow, they're putting a Geno's in Foodie Hall. Cool. Let me just post about it because it's related to Philly because it's cheesesteaks. And wow, what
it's the best partnership I ever had. Should make it a point to go last minute Christmas shopping up there when Dan's up there because in there, like, so what it is you can't eat in at all. It's fully takeout, but there's 6 different restaurants, 6 different kitchens in one restaurant. And so you can order Chinese food, and then you can order a Geno's cheesesteak. You can order a pizza, then you can order Southern fried chicken sandwich. You can order like from all 6 restaurants and get it delivered to your house. So if your wife wants Chinese food and you want pizza, you can do that.
Yeah, it's a hell of a forward-thinking restaurant concept for these guys to have shared space, shared. I guess they share partly parts of the kitchen and all that stuff, and they can share all that overhead costs, and then be able to, you know, like you're saying, if you and your wife can't decide what you want to eat for dinner, you want a cheesesteak, she wants, you know, lo mein, you can get both, that's pretty cool.
It's crazy. It's like a huge conveyor belt. The ticket comes down. If you get like a fried chicken sandwich and she gets a Chinese food, the one thing makes the other. They put it on the conveyor belt and then it goes out to the delivery driver.
And then like just real quick, like this debate, like, are we being honest with ourselves when we? And I'm saying we because it's not me, because I'm fine with Pat and Geno's. I'll eat it. It's not like we're from South Jersey, but like if somebody's going to say, hey, let's go there, I would be like, okay, and I'd eat it, and I'd be like, this is good. Are we just lying when we try to act like we hate those places just to say it's touristy? Do you guys really think they're trash? Like, I've had
Angelo's, which right now is becoming the number one. Before Angelo's came about in Portnoy and all that stuff in Sam Boner, it was Delisandro's. I've had that. I've had Jim's. I've had Geno's, Pat's. I've had Tony Luke's.
Had most of them too.
Sonny's, Campos. I Ishkabibble. I've had pretty much.
And never once have I said this is a gross sandwich. Like, I don't get that. This, like, you're just.
They're all good.
They're all good.
They're trolls.
It's troll life. It's 100% troll life. Well, and with the Geno's thing, you got the political hate holdover people from 14 years ago. Which, by the way, I talked to Dan because Dan read the post. Dan, by the way, loved it. He thought it was amazing. He loved the banter. He loved all the smack talking. He said that the guy that wrote that sign, the "you got to speak English" or whatever, that's the dad. The dad has passed away since, and the son is also Geno. The son took it over. And he said the son's a wonderful man and super nice, and they love the partnership, and the product's going to be awesome. So if you're in Cherry Hill,
they're a straight brand. I've had the regular. I've had the one in Xfinity for a while. You could buy like the Geno's like in like Sam's Club. It was like a sandwich you could put in the microwave. It's good product.
I've never had the Xfinity version.
It's funny that happened because our buddy was talking about how he likes the steak with the bigger chunks. Like Geno's has the bigger chunks at the tailgate. He was telling me, but my like that is definitely like post of the week.
Oh, that was so much fun! I had such a good time with that.
Yeah, and mine is the one I did with the Dallas cycle. which was
Oh,
totally an NFL meme
I love a good
steal.
NFL meme steal.
Like we are here right
Yeah,
now.
they're at We Dem
We them
Boys.
boys is our you. They seriously, there's usually one team is better than the other, or we're both bad, or it's just like clearly, but like literally both teams, Eagles and Dallas, they both seriously think in their mind that they're better than each other. There's not like you can't have an intelligent conversation. Like they are so convinced they're better than us, and we're so convinced we're better than them. We beat them, and they're like, hey, they just put up 50 points and they didn't have Dak when they played us, so they're just like
right. And we played the Colts.
And then underrated was the Mets played $87 million to Verlander, Max Scherzer, and Bobby Bonilla. But even though Bobby Bonilla only gets like $1 million out of the $87 million, I think it went way over people's head that they're paying $90 million to Verlander, Max Scherzer, and Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla only gets $1 million out of the 90 they're paying the other two guys. So
the Yankees are over $1 billion with their three guys.
Judge got a fair deal, I think, $40 million.
Yeah.
It's MVP.
Yeah, but Giancarlo,
that's
him, and
cheap.
the other guy, it's over $1 billion. Just those
$1
three
billion.
players. And we're getting there, man. Trea Turner.
Well, that's good. So what's your? Yeah, we're getting there. Two guys getting 600. But what's your Eagles score before we rock out?
Eagles beat the Giants. I think the Eagles beat the Giants well. 27-17. That's it.
It's our mom's
10-point win for 10-point win for
York,
mom. 27-17.
Happy birthday, B. Eagles win. Maybe she'll trade back to the Giants. She grew up in New York.
She's
now.
diehard.
Eagle. She's diehard Eagles. Eagles win. Big. I just think the Giants. I think they really stink. I just don't. I'm not a believer. I'm not scared. It would be us like we played against Washington, which I don't see us doing twice in a row to NFC East teams. Not in a row, but twice. Like beating ourselves, turning it over, just being sloppy. I don't think that's going to happen again. I just not a believer. I think the Giants really stink. The game we lost, we beat ourselves. But so.
Oh, by the way,
one
quick one.
Yeah.
Next time one of those Dallas fans says that they're better than us, you can just bring up the fact. I don't have the exact number, but Dak Prescott has played how many less games than Hurts? He's played four less games and has 6 more interceptions, I think. Hurts only has 3 interceptions. Dak has 6 or 7, I think, in less games. So let them suck on that one.
Yeah. What's his face said that like Dak pretty much like hit his ceiling, and Hurts, you don't really know if he hit his ceiling or not yet. He can keep going. So
and Hurts, only Eagle ever to win NFC Player of the Week twice. Michael Vick got it 3 times, but spread out. Hurts 2 weeks in a row. Only Eagle ever. Fun stat.
I think Hurts has to win it at this point. I think the Chiefs have too many losses.
Depends how the rest of the season goes, but if you wanted to bet on somebody and you were a homer, you could bet Jalen Hurts to win the overall MVP. But
imagine people who are just super duper pooper homers that did it like preseason.
This is another recycled stat that people are throwing around, but this is your vote against Hurts winning the MVP. No player has ever won the regular season MVP and the Super Bowl since like Kurt Warner. And Kurt Warner's the only one to ever do it. So regular season MVP winner doesn't usually win the Super Bowl. So they want to give it to Patrick Mahomes. Fine, we'll take Super Bowl MVP all day, every day. Go Birds.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with Super Bowl all day. Yeah, it was Cowherd. I couldn't even think of his name. Cowherd basically said Jalen Hurts, like, he has no idea what Jalen Hurts' ceiling is. Like, anybody thinks he's a running quarterback's an idiot. Like, he just ran all over him one week, passed all over me the other week.
My last one. I didn't write anything down. I'm very proud of myself for remembering all of my things. Dable is the punk that benched Hurts in the championship game in college. So that's another reason why the Eagles thumped the Giants this weekend. Jalen Hurts revenge game. Yep.
I did not know he got benched. But
yeah, he got benched for Tua. Everybody knows that. He got benched for Tua at halftime.
I think the running quarterback thing is can't win a Super Bowl is just the dumbest thing ever, because pretty soon there's going to be a tipping point where there's going to be more dual threat quarterbacks than pocket passing guys. You just had like 100 years of nothing but pocket passers, and you've had the last like decade or so of the Michael Vicks of the world. Like, it's going to be all dual threat people. Yep. Look at come out like Tennessee. They're totally going to fire their GM. Tannehill is done. They're going to go to dual threat. That guy's going to come in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tennessee guys that are sitting next to us were sweet. Happy to give tickets to Eagles or Giants fans because it's been a good year. The fans have been nice to each other because we've been good.
Amen.
All right, Eagles win 28-19. So
all right, go Birds.
Big time. Go Birds.
I'm